From the studios, it is Euroyard, and in this video, we are going to talk about the second semifinal at the 2026 Eurovision Song Contest. So we've already published a video, which you can see right here on our channel, in which we predict the 10 countries that will get through from the first semifinal on Tuesday. And in this video, we're going to focus only on the second semifinal on Thursday. So 15 countries will participate, 10 will move on. So let's put on the screen right now the 15 countries that will participate. So 10 will move on, 5 will go home. So first in the running order is Bulgaria, followed by Azerbaijan, Romania, and Luxembourg. Czechia going 5th. Armenia, Switzerland, and Cyprus will be going 8th. Then going 9th is Latvia, followed by Denmark, Australia, Ukraine, Albania, Malta, and going last is Norway. So those are your countries. So like we said in the first video, we take a bunch of things into consideration here. Like first, obviously, my own impression of the song and how I think it's going to do. We do factor in the odds a little bit. The odds are never always 100% right about everything. So they're interesting to look at, but you don't want to just treat them as the gospel truth. You also got to take into account some historical trends, maybe their spot in the running order. And you just also look at some of the other countries that are going to be voting, seeing, well, maybe there will be some support for certain countries in here. So you factor all that together, and we tried to come up with the best list of 10 that we could. Now, last year, I seem to remember, I think I got 9 out of 10 on both. So someone can go back and look. I know my record wasn't too bad. So hopefully we're 10 out of 10 both times this year, unless we didn't pick your country, in which case I am very sorry. But 10 open spots on the screen right now, and we are going to start filling them. So the first country that we're going to put through from Thursday to Saturday in the grand final is Denmark. This is Søren's song for Bulgaria, and I got to tell you, it's really good. Really good to the point that I actually think Denmark is a contender to win this year. I thought the staging, I thought the whole package that Søren put together at DMGP this year, I thought that it was good on that scale. I think once it gets to the big stage in Vienna, I think it's going to be a fantastic performance. And he's very talented. I think, if nothing else, I feel like top 5 at the final is very, very doable for Denmark this year. So they're the first country that we're putting through. I think that this song's good enough to win. I really do. And we're pretty sure from the first semifinal that Finland is going to go through, and Finland obviously is good enough to win. But I put this song like very close to that one. So Denmark, this would be the mother of all NQ shocks if this doesn't go through. It will. I am 99.99% sure that this will go through. The second country we're going to put through is Australia. This is Eclipse by Delta Goodrem, and again, another good song, another really capable performer. Australia has missed after starting their journey in the contest very, very strongly. They've actually missed 3 out of the last 5 years, and back-to-back years they didn't qualify. So I think they get back to the final in a big way this year. The third country we're going to put through to the final is Ukraine. Now, Ukraine, those who watched our video on qualifying streaks, and those who are just familiar with how the contest works in general, especially modern Eurovision since the semifinal era began in 2004, you would know that Ukraine has never missed a grand final. Never. They are 19 for 19. So the odds of Ukraine qualifying, regardless of what kind of song, whether it's a fun song, a slow song, whatever, their odds of qualifying are going to just be very high every year. So Ukraine, I'd be shocked if they don't qualify. And now the fourth song that we're going to put through in the second semifinal. This is Cyprus. This is Antigone's song. Jala, and it's fun. It's real fun. So last year, some people were really into the Cypriot song by Theo Evan, but the live performance did not live up to what people might have expected. This song, I think, is a little more of a complete package. And obviously, we need to see this on stage. We need to see how Antigone does with this song. My expectation is that it's going to be pretty good. Certainly one of the 10 best out of 15. I'd be shocked if it wasn't. So yeah, I do think Cyprus gets back to the final this year. The fifth country we are going to put through to the final, welcome back, Bulgaria. So Bulgaria had been out of the contest for a few years, so it's been a while since they've been in a grand final. 2021 was the last time that they have been to a grand final. And I think they'll be back this year. So the song by Dara, it's Bangaranga. And, you know, I saw the live version at the Bulgarian national final, which, by the way, the Bulgarian national final, I respect that they did it. I respect the effort, but it was kind of a mess. So you have 2 shows to pick the singer, and then you've got a third show to pick the song after the singer has already been picked. I don't know. Didn't really do it for me, but they actually did pick, I think, a pretty good song here. And I got to tell you, like, the live version was good. I listened to the studio version, and it's really good. I really like this. There's some change ups in the melody. I was feeling it. Like, I think this is a pretty good one. I think it's certainly good enough to get to a grand final. So we have it through. The 6th song we're going to put through is Romania. The song is called Choke Me, which not everybody has been thrilled with some of the connotations in it. I will point that out. But it's a banger. If you're just listening to music, if you're just listening to melody, it's a banger. And a song like that, I think it's going to be tough to see them being left behind in the semifinal. And yeah, actually in the odds, this song is doing really well. On the day I recorded this, Romania was at 8th. Not in the odds for the second semifinal, but overall. Now, I'm spoiling a little bit my grand final predictions. I don't think they're going to finish that high. And I'll get into that a little later. But do I think it'll make it to Saturday? I do. In fact, I think it's probably, even though we have it like the 6th country through, and mind you, these countries are presented in no particular order here. I'm not saying Denmark is going to win the semifinal, and I'm not going to say the country in 10th is going to come in 10th. These are just 10 countries that I think, and they could come in any order, frankly. These are not in any particular order. But I do think Romania might be one of the more likely countries to get through, but we'll see how they do once they get to Saturday. The 7th country that we're going to put through is Malta. This is Bella by Aiden. So I feel like this song is going to do really, really well with the juries. I'm still not sure how it's going to do with televote. I know Aiden is very popular in Malta. So he did really well with the public during MESC. But Eurovision ain't Malta. So I'm not sure how he'll do with the televote. I'm sure there is an audience for his song. But really where I think he's going to do well is with the juries. Especially if he does something grand to replicate that swirling tornado of roses that he had at his performance in national final season. I think the juries are going to eat that up. So yeah, it certainly should get enough points to make it through. The 8th country we're going to put through here is Norway. So the song is Ya Ya Ya, and Norway is going last here. Norway is on an 8 contest streak of making the final. This would make it 9. Norway, even songs like a couple of years ago, like Alvaham, which ended up coming in last in the grand final, it still got through. Even though some people were iffy on it, it still got through. It still got out of the semifinal. But now fast forward to 2026. This song is going last. The song has a lot of energy. I do think that there is a lane for it to succeed. I'm not quite sure yet how I think it would do on Saturday, but I think that there's a lane for this song to succeed. And I don't think you can really do much better in the running order than being the last song before people televote, because you never know, people out there with their Eurovision apps open ready to spend their euros on these songs. You know, maybe some of these people have the short-term memory of a goldfish. So, hey, last song, that's fresh in mind. So you never know. Like, you'd probably want to be going towards the end is what I'm saying, if that makes any difference. But yeah, I mean, I do see a way for this song to succeed. Okay, now it's starting to get interesting. So we got 7 countries still on the board, and we got 2 spots left. So now we got to really start trimming down here. The 9th country that I'm going to put through here is Albania. This is Non by Alice. So I watched Festivalia Kangas. I saw the song win. I saw the song captivate people in Albania. So what I understand is that this song is going to have subtitles when it is performed. So people out there will be able to see what he is singing about. So this, I think, has a better chance with the subtitles to really connect with people. And for the record, I'm glad they didn't translate it into English. I generally don't like when performers do that. If you're singing it in your native language, keep it in your native language. But I think the subtitles might actually help here. But again, like with Malta, I think this is a song that the juries are going to take to. At least some of the juries are going to take to. So we'll just have to see how it goes. I'm not super confident that Albania will go through, but I'm giving them that spot right now. Okay, so there's 1 spot left and 6 countries contending for it. They are Azerbaijan, Luxembourg, Czechia, Armenia, Switzerland, and Latvia. The 10th country we're putting through is Armenia. So here's the thing. I know that right now the odds say Czechia. I'm a little hesitant about Czechia right now, especially after what happened last year. People, myself included, thought that Kiss Kiss Goodbye was like a shoo-in to get to the grand final, and they didn't do it. I don't feel like this, like the tone of this song that they're sending this year is all that different. And now he's very talented. A lot of these people are just very talented. This isn't a question of talent. This is the sense that I got. Like, obviously the sound is different, but the sense I got is that Czechia is kind of just doing the same thing they did last year, and it didn't work. So I'm a little concerned about them getting through. I know the odds right now say that I think they're like 9th most likely to qualify, which is precarious to be sure, but I don't know. I'm worried about them. Where's Armenia? I think it's fun. It doesn't have to go up against Greece. It doesn't have to go up against Moldova. So I do think that there is definitely a lane for this song in this particular semifinal to succeed. And I watched him at that very interesting national final they had in Armenia in 2025. And his song was called I Papare Bye. And I went into this thinking of this is going to be a disaster, and it actually won me over. I'm like, this guy's actually a really good performer. So I would actually expect more of the same on stage in Vienna. And Armenia, too, keep in mind, Armenia's on a qualification streak of their own. 4 years in a row that they've made it to the grand final. And I didn't think Armenia was going to qualify last year, but it snuck through. This year, I think it will sneak through again. So, who knows? Maybe we're wrong, but whatever. If I'm wrong, leave me a comment. At least it's engagement. But like, for example, a country like Azerbaijan, like I think just a ballot in the second spot, that is a really, really tough spot. And that's a country that has missed the grand final 3 years in a row. The Luxembourg song, I think, might get lost in the weeds there. And like, there's some really good songs here. So it's unfortunate that some songs have to get left behind. That's just the way it is. But those are our 10. So it's Denmark, Australia, Ukraine, Cyprus, Bulgaria, Romania, Malta, Norway, Albania, and Armenia. So are we right? Or are we wrong? Let's find out in May at EuroYard. Like and subscribe. Follow us on social media. We'll see you soon.